right, thanks for stopping by again. We're gonna continue what we were doing last episode. I still got a bunch of Tim Hortons hockey cards left to power through. Let's see if we can pull something else. And you know, it's I was watching today, watching clips of the Oilers exit interviews, and you know, contract time is coming up at the end of this month, and so I thought also I'd talk a little bit about my thoughts on where the Oilers are going. Hopefully, I don't know where they're going to go, but they made a good run this year. It's like they burned everything up that they had getting to Game 7, and they just couldn't get. They needed the Edmonton fans. They needed home ice advantage. That was long and short of it. If they had home ice and they had those fans cheering, they would have been a different story, I think. But regardless, let's get into this. So, see if we can pull in some Oilers. Let's get some Oilers in these packs. Something. Okay, who we got? Timo Meier again. Oh, we got an Aaron Ekblad. Oh man, it pains me every time I pull a Florida card for some reason. Wonder what reason that is. Steven Stamkos. You know, I don't know about Steve. I guess I wasn't really following hockey super in depth right around those years, you know, Stamkos and Ovechkin and Crosby when they came into the league. So, you know, you only catch them later on, and of course, Crosby didn't help his case being a crybaby at the beginning of his career. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, Google, YouTube, Crosby Crybaby. They have a beautiful compilation with some of the Titanic Celine Dion soundtrack. Right. Braden Point, money in the playoffs, as always. Tyler Toffoli, we've gone through this before. Not a big fan of his. And Gabriel Landeskog. Gabe. Underappreciated. Okay. JT Miller. JT Miller. Yeah. That game when he slashes the back of the goalie's net to yell at the goalie to get off the ice for the extra attacker, we get what you're saying, but a little bit too crazy. But I will say that your aggression normally leads to a goal. So, but too bad, so sad. You did not beat the Oilers. Dougie Hamilton and Nikita Kucherov, aka number one bullshit. That was their Game 7. The famous quote from the bubble playoffs, the pandemic cups. Ooh. Morgan Riley. Oh, my favorite Connor McDavid highlight is the old head fake. Burn Morgan Riley. Left him standing. Got another OV. Kirby Doc. Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. Not too far away. I feel like he's going to be decent. You know, you see a lot of these Canadian kids playing in the World Juniors, and you just hope the best for them continue forward, because Oilers fans know the World Junior, you know, Jesse Puljujärvi lit up the World Juniors that year. Absolutely lit it up. Comes the Oilers, and a plethora of bad luck, bad circumstances, bad coaching, some say. Who knows what it was. But that poor guy just did not turn out to be who we thought he would. Huberdeau, another amazing, horrible contract. Hopefully we'll weigh the Flames down for a while. Adam Fox, Moritz Seider. I bought a couple packs of cards from 93, 94, and I got some other ones from early 2000s and stuff like that. We'll open those in coming episodes. But love the old school stuff. Darcy Kemper. Now the thing about this jersey, I have to admit that this jersey makes me think of one of the greatest goalie name, Oli the goalie. Olaf Kolzig, who played again for the Capitals, but yeah, that jersey makes me think of him. Oh, Mark Stone, yep. Now, the death of the Phoenix Coyotes. I bet you some of these cards will be worth, because there is no more Coyotes. I'll have to keep those. You never know. Who knows what'll happen with down the road with Phoenix, Arizona, who knows, but God, I remember who remembers when Wayne Gretzky, the great one, got behind the bench and decided it'd be a good idea to coach the Coyotes. It did not pan out, spoiler alert. Great players do not always make great coaches. Claude Giroux, Kirill the Thrill, Drew Doughty. Doughty, retire, please. As an Oilers fan, please retire. Every time you step on the ice, I get worried that you are going to hack McDavid's knee out or something. Please just retire. Ooh, Malkin, haven't pulled him yet. Gino. Yeah, it's hard to believe that he is at the tail end of his career. But yeah, that Pittsburgh team was unreal. What we got? Jonathan Taves. Mark Stone again. Look at that, like horrible. Like, what's that face? Like, I need to poop face. That's what that looks like. You always wonder, do these players get to see? Do they get to see their card or know what picture that there's used for their card? Or do they just end up seeing them for the first time when a fan rocks up to them and asks them for an autograph? Like, how does that work? Someone please let me know. I'm super interested in that. The same how card companies, why do they choose certain players for certain years to get certain autographs and stuff like that? Like, how is that decided? You know, also would love to know. Shesterkin. Oh, we got ourselves a John Gibson and a Cole Caulfield. You know, like I said before, Caulfield and Suzuki making a decent pair. You know, a little bit of the Montreal Canadian resurgence. I will admit that growing up, that when the Oilers were not in the playoffs or got knocked out early rounds, I tended to jump on the Montreal Canadiens bandwagon, mostly for the opening ceremony at the Forum. Was I still alive for the Forum? And then obviously the Bell Center. But holy mackerel, could they... Oh, totally just lost my train of thought because I'm looking down and this course is Matthew Tkachuk. Yep. Congratulations. Oh, bonus luck. Back-to-back Tkachuks. Awesome sauce. Did not appreciate your comment about how you did Calgary fans a solid by making sure Edmonton didn't win. Because although you may think you're going to be remembered for lifting the Stanley Cup, pretty much you're going to be remembered for the turtle against Zach Cassian when he hooked you. But yeah, Mika, what happened during the playoffs, bud? Where'd you go to? Time to cut the hair too, I think. Maybe it's just not working for you. Jack Hughes Superstar Showcase. The Hughes brothers, man. It's about time you see a good family rocking the league again. And Jabrincat. Sad to see some of these cards of the players that were playing on Canadian teams and seeing them, knowing that they're on American teams now is just tough because, you know, again this year Canada loses out to a Stanley Cup. Alex Tuck. Ooh. Matty Bernier's symmetry standout, nice. Let's get that in some plastic. You know, I feel like the Kraken are going to be a deceivingly good team for a while, even though they were pretty screwed out of the draft, because the NHL did want to make sure that what happened with Vegas getting Stanley Cup contending team right off the hop didn't happen again. And unfortunately, I feel like if any team didn't deserve it, it would be a team from Vegas, because I am a huge not supporter of sports teams in a place that is dictated by gambling. Also, Gary Bettman, probably never going to see this. What the hell? Why choose to join up with like sports books? Why? Like, I sit down and I'm watching hockey now, and on the screen, it's just like, boom, next, like, who's going to score next? Here's the odds. You know, what's the parlay? What's all this other stuff? And then at the bottom, you throw up, like, you know, responsible gambling. Like, please call this number if you have a problem, just to cover yourself. Get it out of the game. You know, no one wants it. Is any other sport doing it? Eric Carlson thought he was, honestly thought that he might end up as an Oiler at the trade deadline. No such luck. Ooh, we got a Jordan Cairo Hockey Triumphs. Never seen that St. Louis Blues jersey. Rupe Hintz. If Rupe had been much healthier during the Edmonton-Dallas series, I feel like it would have been a different series. A little bit too late. Too little too late for Rupe. I'm sure, like what did I hear today? That McDavid had an abdominal injury that he's going to need surgery. Drysdale had a bunch of injuries, you know, as normally happens in the league. That, you know, my wife always says, why do they not disclose injuries at the beginning of, or during when they happen, like they do in every other sport? Hockey's just always continued to be its own thing. Kyle Connor. Ooh, another one. Clayton Killer. Oh. What's funny is I have his contract, Darnell Nurse's contract, up on this computer screen. And it saddens me when I read it. Huge thing I have against Darnell Nurse, and God, I wish I had hockey highlights to pop up right now, is when he's leaving the zone with the puck. Watch Cale Makar. Watch other good defensemen when they leave the zone with the puck. They're skating. And by skating, I mean they're taking more than one stride and then coasting, because if they catch you on the hop and you're coasting, game over. You know, they're going to burn you every time. And to be honest with you, Darnell, you got burnt quite a few times. Nuge, please stay an Oiler. Please don't leave. Oilers management, please don't trade Nuge. Connor McDavid, legend. Also, please stay an Oiler. I'm telling you, one of these years, man. Please God, sometime soon, that the Oilers give the city of Edmonton a reason to bring back the City of Champions sign as you drive into the city. Ovi. Doesn't even look like Ovi. Sorokin, Cairo again. And these contracts, you know, I'm learning more and more about professional sports while living in the United States. And the biggest one that I learned is, like, hockey has one of the lower sport contracts, but they're guaranteed. Player gets injured, he's getting his money. You know, yeah, the professional NFL players, they get hundreds of millions of dollar contract, but only some of that is guaranteed. The rest of it is like not. And I feel like if they did that in hockey, we were talking players. You know, you're going to see players move more around, shorter contracts. You know, I feel like it would grow the game better, because you're going to have a chance of moving these players around more if they're not getting the money that they want. You know, or being able to cut players if they're no good. You know, like Darnell Nurse, you savvy man. I hope to God you make me eat my words. Really, I really do. Because if there wasn't guaranteed contracts, then we wouldn't be on the hook for $74 million for your... I don't even know what to say. Let's continue. This isn't a rant about their numbers. Okay. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting kicked in the balls here. First, we got a Vegas Golden Knight, followed by a Calgary Flame, and a freaking Dallas Star. The triple whammy to the Oilers fan. I don't even want to read their names. I feel it. I'm feeling like we're gonna pull a decent card here soon. Or if we don't, let's say, if I don't pull a decent card in the next 10 packs, try something different. I'll open another pack from a random place. Oh, but what do we got? Oh, Nico Hirscher. We got the other Kachuk. The Kachuk I respect. Mark Stone again with his face. Actually, you know what we'll do? The next episode, I will open. I'll do a couple of the big boxes I got in the background. You can see them in the background. There are a couple of these guys that Leaf Legends. So Tavares. Yeah, Toronto. When people ask me, is it hard being an Oilers fan? I said, well, at least I'm not a Toronto fan. Sorokin, Kevin Fiala. Shout out to Canada Post for ensuring that this package eventually got here and nothing was stolen. Mason McTavish, Logan Thompson, Cole Caulfield. We are kind of, I know, dry barrel. You know, and I also feel like, well, okay, a few things. Let's go on a little bit of an NHL rant tonight. First things first, time for Gary Bettman to retire. Gary, you grew the game. You're going to be known for, I'm sure, great things, but it's time for new blood, fresh ideas. Okay, we got to just something, right? They were saying like hockey's like way down the list behind a lot of other professional sports that, you know, I don't view as important. But yeah, that's gonna happen. And then we got, you know, make some small changes. I like the idea of the shorthanded goal canceling the penalty. They did it in the Professional Women's League this year, and I feel like it would spice up the game. Second of all, shootout, bye-bye. Get rid of the fucking shootout. Sorry for swearing, I'm probably gonna have to beat that out. But good Lord. The shootout was great when we were kids. You saw a penalty shot once in a lifetime. Like, I don't even remember the first time I saw a penalty shot. But for some reason in my memory now, like, it's clicking that I was actually at the Coliseum back in the day with my dad, and I feel like we saw a penalty shot out of the blue. And then the first year of the shootout, yeah, it was great. And then we had those like 24, 25 round shootouts where it was just like, good Lord, and then whatever. So I think we need to play a longer 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, or 3-on-3. Jeez, what am I saying? It's 3-on-3. Longer 3-on-3. You know, because even if you play, or get rid of the tie already and have 3-on-3 go until someone scores. You know, boom, there you go. That's what you do. But of course, I'm just realizing that if you take away the shootout, that's the only way that will have to happen. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I got kind of distracted there thinking about Connor McDavid's couple breakaways. Cam. I hope you come back to Edmonton. I feel like you're in Edmonton or you're close to Edmonton, but yeah, although I was not a huge fan of yours, you did give us hope for a long time with a very, very poor team. So thank you for your service. Carlson, Kaprizov. We got Braden Point. Oh, I see a vintage Colorado jersey. Shesterkin. Oh, Alexander Barkov. Why is it so... It's still so fresh. It's still so fresh. And you know, I think about this. There were visibly empty seats at that Stanley Cup final. That team is from Miami, Florida, or a suburb of Miami, Florida. And I pretty much guarantee you that you could go a couple miles from the stadium or something like that and ask somebody about that, and they would have no idea what just happened. You know? Whereas the other way, even though the Oilers lost, if you asked anybody in Canada anything about the Stanley Cup, they'd know. It's just so, it's a different beast. You know, trying to explain to people here was tough what it means, what it would have meant for the Oilers to win, not just as an Edmonton fan, but witnessing like the first cup for Canada in that many years. Would have been a big deal. But maybe next year. Lucas Raymond, good scorer. Kirby Doc. And another Cairo. We're gonna start just picking random ones out of here. See if we can get something. There. We'll open a few. Let's open a few up. Let me get a good stack of the cards going. Because you could be here all night and not see anything. I didn't want to pre-open them and have them all just sitting here and go through them because I feel like then it's like, did you really open them or are they just in a box inside of what you do? Moritz Sider. Ooh, yeah, 2 Oilers back to back, but this one's a big one. I've wanted a Stuart Skinner card. I've really wanted one. I'm sure that, you know, probably not worth a lot, but it's more like hometown boy. Like 10 10-1 in elimination games? You know, he gave us a chance. Zach Hyman. Again, thank you, Toronto, for your stupidity. Welcome to Edmonton, Zach. Please stay forever. Kyle Connor, Hellebuck, Cole Perfetti, Jack Gensel, Toffoli again, and Barkov. See, like, I mean, like, for these hockey triumphs, there's just a crap ton of Toffoli's. I'm like, what did he triumph? What was the triumph? I ask you, Tim Hortons and Upper Deck in the NHL. What was the reason why he was chosen for that? Again, we'll open a bunch. If anybody else, you know, hockey card collectors or runs into this channel and decides to stop for a watch, please, if there's a recommendation of good value for money sets or years or stuff like that to buy, please, yeah, definitely looking for recommendations, you know, ways to grow my channel. I know, like, yeah, it could be me rambling a lot sometimes, but that was the whole point of this was, you know, mental health wise, the pandemic really sent me for a whirl, and I feel like this is going to help. Just, you know, being able to share things that I enjoy with other people, and who knows, there could be other people like me out there that are going to enjoy this just as much as me. There's probably going to be people that don't enjoy it, but if you stop, great. If you don't, great too. And I just dropped a card on the floor. There we go. Got her up. Okay, let's We got a Travis Konechny, another John Gibson, Mikko Rantanen. Mikko, you had a good playoffs. But whatever happened with Nichushkin, Jesus, that sent your teeth. What a worse timing for that. Omen Yossi, NHL Hall of Fame defenseman. Good man, good guy. Feel like Switzerland? Yep, burn, Switzerland. Another Cam Talbot, Patrick Laine. Lemon. Return that one. Tim Stützle. Yep. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Two German players side by side. We pull a Stützle, and then immediately after we pull a Draisaitl Superstar Showcase. It's fun to watch them play against each other, you know? Allmark, Boldy. What do we got here? Barzell. Another guy. What happened, Barzy? Point. Thompson. Timo Meyer. That was a steal. New Jersey. Timo Meyer from San Jose. Attaboys. Adam Fox. Patrice Bergeron. Robert Thomas. Another Husey. Elias Sorokin. And Marc-Andre Fleury, the Flower. Who pretty much for most of my childhood, or not my childhood, but my young adult life, Marc-Andre Fleury was known for the clearing the puck off the American player back into our own net during the World Juniors, which I'm pretty sure lost us the gold. But apparently he's a great prankster. I've seen some pranks he's pulled. He made some even better saves during the playoffs, during his career. It was it's hard to say that I was a Vegas fan, but that year they made a run for it with Andre Fleury. Oh man, I really thought he was going to do it because that Misfits team, I feel like this is hard because I'm not a Vegas fan at all. But I feel like if they had won that year, it probably would have been it would have been good for the game to grow in the States because people would have been like, I feel like also that hockey was the first professional sports team to go into Vegas because now they have the Raiders and they have the A's. Do they have a basketball team yet? I don't know, but still, hockey was the first one. I feel like it was 2017 or 2018 that Vegas came in. Yeah, Quebec City, screwed. Again, screwed. Utah. My favorite thing was when they announced the draw that they were going to do, or not the draw, the poll for the team name, the Yeti, the Blizzard, the Storm, all these things. The best one was that fan that posted the Utah Storm and Mormons, and that jersey that they chose that looked like the Mormons' white shirt, black pants with the tie and the name badge. That was on point. But I feel like what did they go with? The Utah Hockey Club for the next season? And then they're going to continue talking with the fans and let the fans decide. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like Quebec put a lot of hard work, or so I read, a lot of hard work into getting a team back. So, I really hope that we don't end up with like a Sepp Blatter. Like for people that don't know, that was the guy that was in charge of FIFA. Might still be in charge of FIFA, but huge allegations about getting bribes and rigs and all that stuff of where they would hold the World Cup and all that stuff. So I just hope that doesn't come about with Bettman at the end of his career, because that would really take a lot of wind out of my sails as a hockey fan. So I don't like you, Bettman. Retire with class and don't make my gut right about you. We got a different Toffoli. We got another Connor McDavid showcase. Nathan McKinnon. Claude Giroux. Matt Duchene. Carter Verhaeghe. Mason McTavish. I feel like, is that Craig McTavish's son? I'm pretty sure it is. Craig McTavish. Yeah, I feel like has pretty much worked every role for the Edmonton Oilers, including playing. But interesting fact about Craig McTavish is that he was the last, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, he was the last professional hockey player to not wear a helmet. because he was part of the league when helmets weren't mandatory. Then they became mandatory, but players that were grandfathered in and weren't forced to wear a helmet. And McTavish used to just fly there with that weird permy flow that he had. And yeah, it was great. Pedersen, Jordan Cairo, Darnell Nurse, Christ, Trevor Zegras, Georgiev, Kemper. I like that jersey. I don't know. Maybe it's the whole thing. Maybe it's the pads and everything that puts that together for me, but it looks nice. Gensel. I'm telling you, I'm going to stick with my gut about this guy. He's going to be good. Slavkovsky. Suzuki, I think that's the first one I pulled of him. We got an Adam Fox, Symmetry Standouts, Carter Verhage, Trevor Zegras, Pedersen, Hurdle, Barzell, Sorokin, Crosby, Hughes. Come on, guys, give us something good. Give us something good. We've put in the time. Jack Quinn. Yeah, Cole Kaufman. Feeling like we're putting in the time. We're putting in the effort, guys. We're putting in the effort. This might be a shorter video than last, but I'm just, whoever decides to stop by and just stop in to listen, great. My goal is to eventually go live. Still in the process of putting all the ducks in the row, working on like computers and whatnot. So right now it's just these little videos that I'm putting together. Get home from work, put the kid to sleep, get some spare time. Open some hockey cards. Talk to you guys. Talk to whoever's listening. Yeah, so in case people think that I, or I guess we could just say like, just go a little bit about my hockey passion. So I grew up in Alberta, playing minor hockey. One thing I'm sure people, whoever watches this, that was involved in minor hockey, whether it be in the States or Canada or whatever, whether they were a player, or they were a parent, or where they are right now, one thing's for sure we all know. Hockey, although Hockey Canada's mission statement is hockey for everyone, hockey is not for everyone, because hockey is very, very, very expensive. Especially if you come from rural Canada. So to give you an idea, when I was young, we played in a league that's extended so far that we're talking like lower levels, pee-wee, Adam, 11, 12-year-olds, parents getting up on a Saturday morning and driving, we're talking 3.5 to 4 hours one way to go play a team once and turn around and come home. 11-year-olds. So that's on top of paying jerseys, insurance, registration fee. Now you're shelling out gas. So yeah, I probably was ungrateful. If my parents ever see this video, I probably was super ungrateful for all the times. I probably hated getting up early in the morning, not realizing that it was to fuel my passion, for the game of hockey. But yeah, they did a lot. They sacrificed a lot to make sure I could play the years I did play. So thank you for that sacrifice, Mom and Dad. I was never a big fan of, I guess I was a little, my mom used to cheer for every good play. But it did, even if it was the other team too, and I guess a few times, you'd be in a tough game, and then of course something like that would happen, and you'd see them. So eventually Mom stopped coming to watch my games. But a funny little story was, my grandma's sister used to travel all the way up from where she lived on a bus, during winter time to come visit my grandma and stay with her. And she used to come watch my games. And I played in a small town. And the arena back then, it was colder inside than outside. And we're talking during the winter time in the minuses Celsius for those Americans watching this. This probably is in the minuses in the Fahrenheit as well. And our arena had a little viewing area above one end of the rink. But my great auntie Barbara, dude, she used to she'd come and she'd sit out there underneath those old toaster-like heaters in the stands and cheer me on. And I'd look forward to every winter when she would come. You know, biggest fan. You know, rest in peace. She passed away not too long ago. But yeah, so I continued playing hockey, and then my travels took me to Europe, and I was lucky enough to make a conversion to inline hockey. It took me around Europe, got to play a few places, got to start a team. Eventually, a couple years after we started, that team actually won the league championship. And funnily enough, a shout out to some of the boys from the original Clare Waves inline hockey team that are part of the Clare Badgers hockey. They created the Clare Badgers hockey team. They just won the national championship, the league championship. So congratulations, boys! Proud of you. All right. So we just finished opening up all the rest of the packs. So we're gonna fly through these cards because I feel like we didn't pull too many good ones. But again, it's Tim Horton's hockey cards. You know, buckle 9 with a coffee. It's just a bit of fun. Brent Burns, love your beard. Oh man, saw something crazy about Joe Thornton's beard during the playoffs in a fight. Someone ripped off a chunk, and the goalie picked it up in his glove. But Jumbo Joe's beard was glorious, and to think that he was a Florida Panther last season or the season before, and had he stayed, he would have won a Stanley Cup. But again, do you keep a dead-end contract? And another thing about contracts, why in the NHL is there no team-friendly contracts? You know, like what is the goal of the to win the Stanley Cup? You need a good team. So if your salary cap is tiny, why take a huge chunk of it and knowingly you're hamstringing the team from building a team around you, you know? Or structure it. Why can't contracts be restructured during the season? Why can't a lot of the contracts be more performance based? And again, that brings us back to the whole why are the contracts guaranteed? So I feel like my wife could have a whole channel based on that. All right, we got another Leon Draisaitl, Matt Duchene, Logan Thompson, Linus Ullmark, Malkin, Pedersen, Nurse. You are just, it's like a dagger in the side every time I pull that card. Brad Marchand. It's funny because for some reason today I kind of zoned out at work a minute, and I thought to myself, what would happen if Darnell Nurse walked into where I worked? Would I ask him for an autograph? Would I tell him what I feel like him? You know, probably get fired for telling him what I feel like. I feel like I would just politely ask him, like, could you give some of your contract back? Or ask him straight to his face, if you can give me 5 reasons why you deserve that much money, I'll drop it forever. Funnily enough, I told my sister, who is a huge Edmonton Oilers fan, and resilient against my bandwagon jumping over the years, you know, I just don't know. She just supported him no matter what. No matter what. Austin Matthews, Linus Ullmark, Kyle Connor, Jacob Markstrom, Patrick Laine, Tavares, Duchene, Matthews, Kemper. Man, I think that Cale McCarr card might be the only one we're going to pull out of all this. Leon Draisaitl, Kyle Connor, Noah Dobson. You know, folks, it could be, but again, that's not why we're here. We're not chasing cards. We're here for fun. We're here for a bit of nostalgia. It's going to be, I feel like I'm in it, or might have more to talk about when we get back into the more older years of hockey, because the newer years, you know, just, I don't follow the draft and all that stuff like I should have. And I'm trying to follow it. This year I was watching some highlights of some of the guys in the draft. Man, one guy's got 116 something points in the season, and he's not even predicted to go in the top 6. So what do they know that we don't? Or what's the, you know what I mean? Who knows? Because again, the Oilers, we all know about draft busts. Yeah, cough. Sebastian Aho. You did make that sweet ass goal though and slid down the ice like Perrin Fleury. I was in a bar watching that game when that happened. Funny story was the Oilers had just scored just before that and the goal was taken back. So, and there was very little time, and the fact that he scored that goal makes it one of the more epic goals of the Edmonton Oilers times. Of my watching, sorry, because of course back when I was 1 year old, Gretzky was reigning supreme. Sorry, I just hit the camera too. Mitch Marner, face on the back of a milk carton. Milk carton Mitch. There we go. Milk carton Mitch. Milk carton Marner. Mitch Milk carton Marner. McTabe. All right, another Jason Robertson. Sebastian Aho. Kyle Connor. Marc-Andre Fleury. Nakis. Kucherov. Point leader. I don't think I have that card yet, so that was a cool one. Cool. Jared Spurgeon. I'm hearing that the Minnesota Wild are rebranding back to the North Stars, whether it's just for next season or permanently. Good call. Miss those jerseys. Good to see them again. Hughes, Sidney Crosby, Bipolar Binnington, Timo Meyer. Ooh, we got a Nuge point leader as well. Journeyman Nuge. Good guy. Tyler Seguin. Steven Stamkos. Who's this? Patrick Laine. God. Alright guys, we are on to the last little stack. Are we gonna hit something? We're gonna hit something good. Who's it, you know, to make up for all this Darnell Nurse shithousery and contract hell, you know, when they ask the players about, like, are you gonna continue, like, Draisaitl's contract's up, right? Contract talks gotta start. And they're asking him, do you see yourself an Oiler long term? What is he gonna do? What, honest to God, do they think? I know what they're hoping for. They're hoping for him to look at the camera and be like, nope, I plan to leave Edmonton. Or something, just to sell papers or sell your article. But ask them questions about, you know, like, people that are reading want to know. You know, like, kids want to know why to chase the dream of being in the NHL. You know what I mean? That's what I think. God, I'm just ricocheting this camera tonight, so I'm sorry if I'm taking everybody on a wild ride. We got a Gino. We got a Mark Scheifele. Hit from behind Scheifele. No, not really hit from behind. More like elbows high Scheifele. Another Scheifele. Carter Hart. Pat Duchesne. Lucas Raymond. We got another Brady Tkachuk. We got a Besser. We got an Ekblad. We got a Shesterkin. We got another Besser. We got a Leo. We got a Nathan McKinnon. Dylan Cousins. Dylan, Whitehorse, I'm pretty sure. Whitehorse, Yukon. Way to represent the territories, buddy. Nick Suzuki. Steven Stamkos. Patrick Kane. That's a first one. We haven't pulled him yet. Or we might have. What do we got here? Matthew Barzell. Noah Dobson. Last couple cards, guys. John Tavares. Mark Stone. Followed by Mark Stone. Elias Lindholm. Milk Carton Mitch. Quentin Byfield. Another Canadian boy. Playing for the Kings. Another jersey story I saw today was that the Kings are going to revert back to their old school jerseys for a while, or a rendition of their old school jerseys. So that puts an end to that. That's the end of the Tim Hortons cards. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm organizing them, and then I'll probably, you know, maybe on a live stream one of the days we'll put them into the book. I'll probably end up doing that myself anyways. I might just record it. We'll see. Yeah, there's some interesting cards, some good looking cards. Again, Tim Hortons is like McDonald's back in the day, getting your cards with a packet of fries. Yeah, I did win. I did. Tim Hortons. Yes, and I just realized I put that up to the screen, so if someone watches this and steals the QR code off the screen, kudos to you. Kudos to you, my friend. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of a few other things I wanted to talk about when it came to hockey. It's hard. It's hard to swallow the fact that I have now seen the Oilers lose in both Game 7s of my lifetime that they've been in for the Stanley Cup Final. You know, first one didn't hit as hard. Living in Europe, young kid, didn't really care. It was the middle of the night, probably a few pints deep. But this one cut deep. And you know, they definitely need to trim some fat. It does not help that we are going to be paying Jack Campbell like we got to buy somebody out, or just hope to God next year like the mask gets lifted off Jack Campbell like the old Scooby-Doo and he's Dominic Hasek or Patrick Waugh, you know. I'll take Curtis Joseph at this point. But crikey, what a bad choice. And I see that Ken Holland is up too. He's done his tenure, so I don't know. Like, who's next? And I worry that some of these young GMs that come in, like Kyle Dubas, look at him. What is he on, his third team or second team or something like that? And yeah, I feel like ego gets played into it, and youth and technology doesn't always trump maturity and experience, is where I'm getting at. Coaching now, let's talk about that. Coaching is a different story. I think the Oilers have proved it, burning up some of the greater coaches. Dave Tippett, boom, worked for a little bit, didn't. Ken Hitchcock, oh my goodness, where do I start with that? As a kid growing up, the Oilers every year, it seemed like every year we played Dallas. And every year we could be winning or something would be going right for us, and then they go into the intermission, and the commentator would always say when they come out, I wonder what Kenny Hitchcock said to them in the dressing room. Because good Lord, whatever he said to him in the dressing room, they would come out just guns a-firing, and we couldn't keep up with them ever. You know? It was like he had the Oilers number, so I used to pray as a kid, you know, one day, please, 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 let Kenny Hitchcock be the coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Please, God. I remember us, you know, in culinary school, I think dining room class, sitting there waiting for the teacher to come in, and I see across the phone that Kenny Hitchcock had been hired as the coach of the Edmonton Oilers. I actually got up and did a dance in front of the rest of the class, and of course people didn't have no effing clue what I was talking about. And look, new generation of players, old generation coach, didn't mesh, you know, albeit the Oilers did not have a good team back then. You know, I just feel like you're going to start seeing the gnaw blocks. You know, don't count Woody out. Woody was a good coach. Woody was what Edmonton needed when it needed it. You know, and that's how I feel about gnaw block 2. He came when we needed him the most. You know, and he was the right fit for everything. And I feel like the last couple seasons we've exposed the weak links in the chain, and we're slowly building them. I don't even want to say slowly, because slowly, you know what I mean? We did it season after season. Whereas, like, you know, rebuilds are they seem to go nowhere until all of a sudden a trade happens. But it's just, yeah, I hope in 6 months' time, a year's time, 2 years' time, when I sit down and watch this video, I hope that I was right in saying that I truly believe that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl want to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton. I don't want to say for Edmonton, because that implies that they owe Edmonton something, but they definitely want to win one in Edmonton. They know, hands down, best fans in the league. Tell me a team that has better fans than Edmonton. And if you're right, I'll eat my hat. But I doubt that there's no way you're gonna convince me. And what it would mean to see Connor McDavid's elation when he lifts that Stanley Cup wearing the Edmonton Oilers jersey, because I remember when he was drafted, and I'll tell you, what was on his face that day was not elation. It was worry. It was, oh no, you know? But instead of, you know, being the Jack Eichel, being the Eric Lindros, you know, he saw the mess he had and started to fix it. They break his collarbone, ruin his rookie season. Yep. He comes back, just guns firing. Don't even get me started with that BS sliding Mark Giordano. Last game of the frickin' season, blows his, ruins Connor McDavid's knee, and it's an accident. Like, come on. But he comes back. Record-breaking comeback. McDavid's the comeback kid. But we need to give him a chance. Daryl Cates, Edmonton Oilers group, give him a chance. The chances you're giving him aren't strong enough, and he needs more. It's funny because my wife says trade Connor McDavid and build a team around Draisaitl. Trade Draisaitl, build a team around McDavid. But I truly think that the winning, and I hate when the Oilers are like Oilers. Every Oilers team is always compared back to the Oilers of the team of the century. Gretzky, Curry, Coffey, Anderson, all those boys. You know what I mean? But it's a different game, and they need to be able to step out from that shadow. Albeit, like, I always said a great someone, if someone could draw a great photo or a great painting or something like that, or artwork of when the Oilers win their first Stanley Cup with McDavid and Draisaitl, of the two of them hoisting it together, and in the background you have Curry and Gretzky's silhouettes, and one saying to the other one, I think they'll be just fine. Because that's what it is. Yeah, when the Coliseum or Rexall Place or Skyridge Center, whatever you want to call it, was ended, and they like passed the torch to the two new Oilers at the new. That wasn't passing the torch. You know what I mean? Passing the torch is when you finally lift that Stanley Cup, and you continue the legacy and are no longer compared to the legacy. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I hope that I have the mental fortitude to make another run next season. Please don't start the way you did this season. My sister's boyfriend is a Vancouver fan, and that first game of the season was a gut punch. Also was the time where we all went to go see the Oilers play Vancouver in Edmonton, and that game was over in the first 8 minutes. So yeah, not a big Vancouver fan, but we'll put it up with them for him. I don't know what's going on in the background. You probably hear a car horn honking on the street. But yeah, so we are running into almost the hour. And again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. For those who listened, for those who didn't, hope you saw something that you liked, or again, it's great having you here, and it's great having someone to talk to. So yeah, have a good night, guys.